Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Fluent and Fearless, the podcast that helps English learners and ESL professionals communicate with greater confidence, clarity, and ease. I'm your host, Katherine Arthur, speech-language pathologist and American English pronunciation instructor. I'm so glad you're here for today's episode because we are talking about something that sounds small but makes a huge difference. It's something that almost nobody teaches in English classes, but it can make a tremendous difference in how natural your American English will sound. And just what is this mysterious thing that I'm referring to? Well, it's the American mouth posture. Now that phrase can sound a little strange at first. Mouth posture is not something that most people spend a lot of time thinking about it in their day-to-day life. We think about words when we talk, and we think about grammar, and we think about vocabulary. But the shape and position of your mouth while you speak can completely change how your American English will sound. And when I say American mouth posture, I'm not talking about forcing your mouth or your face into some kind of stiff, unnatural position. I'm talking about the relaxed, efficient setup that helps American English sound more clear, sounds easier, and makes it sound more natural. So, the American mouth posture isn't about changing who you are or erasing your accent. Instead, it's about putting your speech muscles into the position that they're naturally expected to be in when speaking American English. Think of it like athletics or playing a musical instrument. A tennis player has a ready position before every serve. A piano player has a hand position before playing. The same idea applies to speaking. So in this episode, we're going to talk about what the American mouth posture is, how it differs from the mouth postures in several other languages, what happens when you don't use it, how to find it, and a few simple practice exercises you can start using right away. So let's dive in. I'm Katherine Arthur, and this is Fluent and Fearless. So what is mouth posture? Well, when we talk about American mouth posture, we're talking about the general position of the jaw, lips, tongue, and facial muscles while speaking American English. In broad terms, American English tends to use a relaxed jaw, a slightly open mouth, lips that are neutral most of the time, unless the sound really requires rounding or expansion. American English also tends to use a forward, flexible tongue when speaking, and the speech moves easily between sounds without a lot of tension. Now, a lot of American English learners think pronunciation is mostly about individual sounds. And yes, sounds do matter, of course, but the overall posture of the mouth matters too, because it affects how those sounds are formed. For example, if your jaw is too tight, your vowels might sound cramped. If your lips stay too rounded most of the time, your words might sound overly muffled. And if your tongue stays too far back, English sounds don't come out clearly. If your face is too tense, your speech is going to sound pressed. It's going to sound like you're putting too much effort into it. Now, every language develops its own mouth posture. Native speakers of that language usually don't think about it because they've been doing this since childhood. Now, let me explain mouth posture like this. Imagine someone switching from ballet to martial arts. The body is still the same, but the stance will change. And the same thing happens when we switch languages. American English has its own mouth posture that is very different from many other languages. Now, generally speaking, American English has a fairly relaxed but engaged mouth. Here are some characteristics. The lips are gently apart, not tightly closed. The corners of the lips are slightly active and often pulled outward just a little. The jaw is in a relaxed position rather than being held tightly shut. The tongue rests lightly behind the lower front teeth unless another sound requires it to move. And the facial muscles will stay engaged instead of completely relaxed. Now, many of my learners are surprised when I tell them that Americans actually use quite a bit of facial movement when speaking. We smile more when talking, our lips move more, and our mouths often stay more open between sounds than speakers of many other languages. This posture allows us to move quickly from one vowel to another and produce the large variety of vowel sounds that American English will use. So why does all of this matter? Well, here's the interesting part. Many pronunciation problems don't actually begin with individual sounds. They begin with the wrong starting position. Imagine trying to play basketball while wearing ski boots. Could you still play? Well, maybe, but it would be a lot harder. And the same thing happens with pronunciation. If your speech muscles begin in a position that's designed for another language, producing American English sounds will become much more difficult. You might notice that vowels all start to sound the same, and the words sound tense or stiff. The clarity of your speech becomes reduced. You'll use a lot of extra effort while speaking, and also you'll get fatigued quickly while speaking. Now, some English learners might spend years practicing individual sounds when the real issue is that their mouths never begin in the correct position. So let's compare some other languages. Now, every language is beautiful, and it's also efficient for the people who speak it. But each language requires the speech muscles to work a little differently. So let's compare American English with some languages I commonly work with. For example, Mandarin Chinese. Now, Mandarin generally uses a more centered mouth posture. The lips often stay relatively relaxed and rounded, but many vowels require less jaw opening than American English. And Mandarin also has fewer vowel contrasts than American English does. So as a result, Mandarin speakers might naturally keep their jaws more closed and their mouth movements a little smaller. So when speaking English, this can make vowels sound compressed or too similar. For example, the difference between words like ship and sheep, full and fool, bed and bad. The differences between those two words might become harder to produce consistently because American English relies on larger mouth movements and more distinct vowel positions. Now, Arabic also has some differences with their mouth posture when compared to American English. For example, Arabic often involves stronger tongue and throat activity than American English does. As a result, many Arabic consonants are produced farther back in the mouth and involve more muscular tension. Arabic speakers might also use firmer lip closure and more deliberate articulation. So when speaking American English, this can sometimes create speech that sounds more forceful or tense than native English speech. Also, American English generally flows with more relaxed jaw movement and lighter articulation. So many Arabic-speaking clients notice that relaxing the jaw actually makes English easier and not harder to pronounce. Now, when we look at the Spanish languages, in many varieties of Spanish, their speech often has a more consistent, stable mouth shape. Vowels are generally pure and steady, and the jaw and lips may not move as much from sound to sound as they do in American English. Now, that does not mean that Spanish speakers are doing anything wrong. Not at all. It just means that the physical pattern of their speech is different from American English. And American English often requires more visible movement because English vowels change a lot. We have many vowel contrasts, and many of them depend on subtle changes in jaw drop, lip shape, and tongue position. So a Spanish speaker learning American English may sometimes keep the mouth too still or use a posture that is too narrow, which can make English vowels sound flatter or less distinct. For example, in American English, the difference between words like beat and bit, or bet and bat, is partly about vowel placement. If the mouth posture does not shift enough, those words can blur together. Now let's compare the American mouth posture to the Japanese language. Now, Japanese often uses less dramatic jaw movement in everyday speech than American English, and English learners from Japanese backgrounds may sometimes feel that American English is unusually big in the mouth. American English generally needs more contrast between sounds. The lips might spread more for sounds like E. The jaw might drop more for open vowels like ah. And the tongue might need more forward movement for clarity. So if a Japanese speaker keeps the mouth too small or too contained, the result can be speech that sounds accurate in intention but less clear in American English, especially when it comes to rhythm and vowel contrast. Again, this is not about making one language better than another. It's about recognizing that English asks the mouth to work in a different way. And that is why posture matters. It's not just about saying one word correctly, it's about setting up the whole mouth for speaking English. So what happens if you don't use the American mouth posture when speaking American English? Well, when the American mouth posture is not there, pronunciation often suffers in a few predictable ways. First of all, vowels become less distinct. American English, as we've mentioned, is very rich in vowels. So if the mouth is too tight, too closed, or too rounded, the vowels start to merge together. That means words that should sound different might start sounding too similar. Second of all, articulation might sound muffled or pressed. Now, if the jaw does not release and the lips don't move naturally, speech can sound compressed. Third, when you don't use the American mouth posture when speaking American English, consonants might lose their clarity. Now, a relaxed, flexible mouth helps consonants pop out more clearly. If the tongue is too far back or the lips are not in the right place, sounds like T, D, L, R, V, W, and TH can become less precise. Finally, speech might sound less natural if you're not using the correct mouth posture. And this is a big one. Even when individual sounds are correct, the overall impression might still sound off if the mouth posture is working against the flow of American English. Sometimes people say that their sounds are fine, but people will still ask them to repeat themselves. And this can happen when the mouth posture is not supporting the rhythm and the shape of the language. So yes, mouth posture matters. So we've talked a lot about the American mouth posture, but how do you achieve it? Now, the goal is not to force your face into a fake smile or exaggerate every word. The goal is to find a relaxed, responsive speaking posture. So here are the main ingredients. I'll give you a simple exercise. First, relax your shoulders and take a slow breath. Now, let your lips separate naturally and allow your jaw to drop just slightly. Not dramatically, just enough that your upper and lower teeth are not touching. Now, place the tip of your tongue gently behind your lower front teeth. And when you do this, you'll feel how relaxed everything has become. Now, that's your starting point. That's the home base for the American mouth posture. Again, you're not smiling a big smile. You're not puckering your lips. You're just simply relaxed and ready to move. Now, say these words. I'm ready. Now, when you say that, when you say, I'm ready, notice how little effort it takes when you start from that position. One of my favorite ways to describe American mouth posture is this. Your face is calm, but it's ready. That means your cheeks are relaxed, your jaw open just a little bit, lips are flexible, and a tongue that can quickly move when you speak. So I've got some practice exercises for you, and here's practice exercise number 1. It's called the mirror exercise. It's an easy way to check your mouth posture. Just simply stand in front of a mirror and say, "Good morning." Watch your face while speaking. Now ask yourself, is my jaw moving or does it look tight? Are my lips moving or do they look tense? Does my mouth stay tightly closed between the words? And does my face look tight or does it look relaxed? Now you're looking for the relaxed, easy movements when you speak American English. American English speakers generally have more visible movement than many learners will expect, but don't exaggerate these movements. Just allow them to happen. American mouth posture practice exercise number 2. Do this in front of a mirror as well. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and let your lips rest lightly. Now take a comfortable breath and say these words slowly. Me, may, ma, mo, moo. Notice what changes in the mouth as each word comes out. Now, the point is not perfection. The point is awareness. This exercise will help you feel that American English vowels are not all made with the same mouth shape. The mouth has to move. American mouth posture practice exercise number 3, lip flexibility. So alternate between these shapes. Smile, then relax. Round your lips, then relax. Smile, round your lips, then relax. Now, say these words: me, see, food, go, name, hope. Notice how naturally your lips move from one position to another. Remember, once again, we are not looking for perfection. We are looking for awareness. American mouth posture practice exercise number 4, contrasting words. Now let's practice some word pairs that show how the American mouth posture matters. Repeat these after me. Beat, bit, bet, bat, cot, cat, pill, pool, hope, hop, seat, set. Now say each pair slowly. Then say them again a little bit faster. The goal is to keep the mouth relaxed while still making the vowel differences clear. Now, if you feel your jaw tightening while doing this exercise, take a pause and then start over. And now for American mouth posture practice exercise number 5, short sentences. So let's put the posture into some real speech. Repeat these sentences slowly at first. My office is on the 3rd floor. I need some coffee before the meeting. Her brother called from Boston. The doctor spoke clearly and calmly. We should start the project on Monday. As you say these sentences, notice whether your mouth stays relaxed between words. Now, American English is not just about individual sounds. It's also about smooth transitions. Now, say these same sentences more naturally. My office is on the 3rd floor. I need some coffee before the meeting. Her brother called from Boston. The doctor spoke clearly and calmly. We should start the project on Monday. Now, if you say these sentences more naturally and you think that your face is working too hard, the sentence will sound too hard. Let the mouth do the work without the tension. And I have one more practice exercise for you for the American mouth posture, and this is called reading with expression. So one of the easiest ways to develop American mouth posture is simply to become more expressive. Read a short paragraph out loud as though you're telling an interesting story to a friend. So smile a little when you read. Use your eyebrows. Allow your face to participate. American English is surprisingly expressive, and your pronunciation often improves automatically when your face becomes more engaged. So now here are some common mistakes to watch for when learning the American mouth posture. For one, too much smiling when speaking. Now, some learners think American English means smiling with every word. Not really. That actually can make the mouth too tight. Some people also have too much tension in their jaws. Now, if the jaw stays too still, the vowels are going to lose their color and their clarity, so we want to avoid that. Also, some people, when learning the American mouth posture, might round their lips too much when speaking. Now, remember, too much rounding can make words sound unclear and exaggerated. Also, some people might demonstrate too much tension in their tongue when trying to learn the American mouth posture. Remember, a tongue that's tense can't move quickly, and that will slow down and muffle your speech. And also, sometimes people just might try too hard when learning the American mouth posture. And this one is also very important because the more that you force the American mouth posture, the less natural it's going to sound. So aim for ease of speech, not performance. So if you've been practicing American English pronunciation for months or even years and not seeing the progress that you hope for, don't get discouraged. As we've learned on Fluent and Fearless today, pronunciation isn't only about learning new sounds. Sometimes the missing piece is not another vocabulary word or another grammar rule. Sometimes it's about preparing your speech muscles to make the sounds of American English successfully. The American mouth posture, as we've learned, gives your tongue, lips, and jaw a comfortable starting point. When your jaw is relaxed, your lips are flexible, and your tongue is ready to move, your pronunciation becomes more clear. Your articulation becomes easier, and connected speech will feel more natural. And speaking will require a lot less effort. And best of all, your listeners won't have to work so hard to understand you. The American mouth posture is simply a more efficient, more natural speaking setup for American English. And that does mean less strain for you and better communication for everyone. So if you're learning the American mouth posture, start small. Practice in front of a mirror every day. Let your vowels flow when you do this posture. Repeat words that contrast, like I've taught you today. And practice reading out loud with a lot of expression. Build up your awareness of the American mouth posture one step at a time. And that is how your speech clarity will grow. And that's how your confidence will grow as well. And with that, I'm Katherine Arthur, and thank you so much for listening to this episode of Fluent and Fearless. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you subscribed, shared it with a friend or a colleague, or left a review. It really helps more English learners discover our program. And remember, if you speak English as a second language and you're feeling frustrated with American English, remember this. The problem is not that you're bad at English. The problem is that the rules of spoken American English can be really confusing, even for those of us who are native speakers of the language. But I can help you learn all those rules, and your frustration will begin to disappear. So if you're ready to take your communication skills to the next level, I would love to help you. Again, if you speak English as a second language and you're concerned about your pronunciation of American English, I'm here to help you. I want you to become fluent and fearless, and I know you can do it. Remember, working on your speech and pronunciation doesn't mean that your accent is a problem. It means that you value communication. It means that you're investing in yourself. And what really counts is connecting with other people, building relationships, and showing the world who you are as a unique individual. So whether you're looking to succeed in your career, or you want to just feel more confident in everyday conversations, or both, accent modification can give you the advantage that you're looking for. Are you ready to explore accent modification? Well, come on, I have a free offer for you. Just visit my website at pronouncespeech.com. pronouncespeech.com. Find out how to book a free assessment with me, Katherine Arthur, no cost, no obligation, a low-key and conversational way to learn how you can benefit from accent modification. Again, our website is pronouncespeech.com. So once again, this is Katherine Arthur. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Fluent and Fearless. Be sure to look me up on LinkedIn, and you can find Pronounce Speech and Accent Specialists on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So until next time, keep speaking, keep showing up, and keep reminding yourself that your voice deserves to be heard. This is Katherine Arthur. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time on Fluent and Fearless.